All right, we've got a MX5100 here. It's actually a couple years old already, but it's finally time for its 200-hour service. I'm 0.2 over. Filter's 2 years old.
I failed miserably.
It's not even that bad. We will go over the full maintenance on what to do to keep your equipment new. Here we go. All right, everything you need to know about a Kubota MX5100 hydrostat tractor. Right off the bat, my opinion, the perfect tractor for a guy who's got 4 to 20 acres. And I have 4.1 acres, so I fit in that category. This is a 51 horsepower, so it shares the same platform as the 4700. 4700 is naturally aspirated. This thing is turbocharged. Top speed of the tractor is 23 kilometers an hour or 16 miles an hour. Beautiful little tractor. This is one of the last models before they got emissions garbage put on them. So this is a very desirable tractor. This is not mine, although you see it in a lot of my videos because it is my dad's. Some people buy Corvettes, some people buy fancy TVs and whatever else. This is dad's therapy. We grew up on a farm. We had an older Kubota, I forgot what model that was, 89 horsepower. And it was a super good tractor. He bought another 2-wheel drive, treated him very well. And this thing is treating us very, very well as well. No issues with it whatsoever, other than the bucket tilts very slowly, which is kind of annoying. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's not severe enough to worry about right now. So we're gonna do the 200-hour service. We'll go over the whole tractor, kind of show you what to expect, and then go from there. Let's get into it. Starting up front, we've got our nice decent sized battery. I know we ran internationals when we were snow plowing and they had these tiny little batteries that wouldn't start the tractor in the winter. No problem starting in the winter. You've got a screen to keep your radiator nice and clean. And ours is nice and dirty, so we'll clean that. You got your engine coolant up front, and your hydrostats will have an oil cooler at the front here. Radiators in the front with just a mechanical fan, no viscous or anything, just straight drive. You got your cute little turbo here, and then your 51 horsepower engine. If you are working on it, make sure that you put your safety, just a piece of angle iron or something in between the loader, because you never know. Oil pan goes around the drive shaft, so when you drain your oil, make sure that you drain both sides of the oil pan. There is a big issue with the hydrostat filter, and I believe it's this one. The issue being that they want you to drop all your oil because there is no stop on the filter. So when you want to change your filter at 200 hours, it doesn't call for the oil to be changed until 400 hours. To me, that's kind of dumb. There's a lot of chance for dirt and stuff to get in there. So we're gonna try and spin the filter on as quick as we can, lose a little bit of oil, and then just top it up rather than putting hot oil into the back again. Just a few grease fittings on the steering, the loader, the pivot on the axle, and the drawbar on the back. Disappointing that they do not come with a set of remotes at the back. So keep that in mind. I went to go steer the combine with this thing when we pulled the combine into the shop, and it did it no problem. Lots of power to pull that poor little combine, but we had to have this massive case in the background steering the combine because it didn't have auxiliaries in it. You can add auxiliaries, I believe, on one of the fittings on the side, but that is an extra, so just so you guys know that. The Kubota LA844 loader is a nice quick attach, very, very simple. Pull your pin, put out your legs, and you'll drop that, no problem. Exhaust is out the front, which means that you will get a little bit of soot on your hood. So if you're taking it to beauty shows or parades, keep that in mind. But great for orchards because the exhaust doesn't catch the trees when you're doing that. Not that this is an orchard model, but if you've got a lot of trees, they like to catch the exhaust. ROPS folds down, and the controls are very, very nice. Seat is nice and comfortable. Lots of room for me, 6'6", to slide the seat back. And then your hydrostat is forward and reverse with a low, medium, and high. We did find that driving it down the road in two-wheel drive, never ever drive this tractor or any tractor down the road in four-wheel drive, that the transmission or the hydrostat gets really, really hot. So keep that in mind if you're doing a lot of road traveling. Probably okay in the winter, for colder air, with snow and stuff getting on there. We did use Kubotas for plowing snow, and they were a lot more reliable than the internationals that we were using around the same era, which was about 5 years ago. The 3-point hitch is the simple lever, very, very basic. And then your PTO is hydraulically activated, so it's just on off. There's no gears to put that in. Diff lock down low, and your four-wheel drive, very easy and to get at and stick in and out. Easy enough that when I'm working around the house and we're booking it to the front of the yard, to the back of the yard, to put it in two-wheel drive. When I need to dig a little bit, then we put it in four-wheel drive. Clutch is there, although I don't think it actually has a clutch. It probably just dumps the oil from the hydrostat, and you just need that to start it, and that's your panic button in case you're doing something that freaks you out. You've got a cruise control, more or less, so if you're going a steady speed, cutting grass or whatever, this handle will lock that in place. Only a couple lights, flashers, one cup holder, and that is your basic tractor. Again, I highly recommend this tractor. I've been using it around the house and put probably 40 of the 200 hours that are on it. What we'll show you now is to do the 200-hour service and then go from there. Let's get into it even deeper. Here we go. All right, we're gonna practice with the oil filter. I'm gonna crack it loose, spin it on. We're gonna get better as we go, and more oil is gonna come flying out. See, you don't wanna get this dirty.
I failed miserably. I didn't even start yet and I failed.
All right, quick, spinning. Oil's on the floor, it's going everywhere. Throwing it on, jumping, spinning, and the whole transfer case is empty, or the whole transmission's empty. That's not bad. All right, I'm gonna show you guys a little trick. If you can't get the oil filter off and it's in a tight spot, not really relative to tractors, but take a little bit of sandpaper, stick it in your hand. It's probably about as tight as I could do it. And look, I can get that extra little turn on there. Beauty. Sandpaper's your friend. You can really brag to your friends. Look how strong I am. Strong like bull. All it is a little bit of sandpaper. All right, filter number 2. I only have like a 4-liter jug of oil, but I only have 4 liters of hydrostat oil to replace the leaking oil. So, here we go.
A few moments later.
Oh, dang it, I forgot to hit record. Oh, I had funny lines and everything. Anyway, I'll pop the filter off. And look, I didn't lose much oil at all. See that? Only that little bit. So I'm good. And, oh, it was epic. I spun it up. Oh, you guys don't care. I forgot to hit record. Son of a... All right, I'm not shutting it off anymore. It's gonna keep it rolling for the next hour. You know why? Because it's after 8 o'clock. Right here. I'm gonna show you, oh man, the step is gonna be in my way. I'm gonna bash my hand into this. I'm gonna like end up in ER tonight. And the other one was so perfect. All right, now the real pressure's on because there's no proof that I actually had success with the other one. All right, just touch of oil on that O-ring. Have the filter ready to go. Securely off to the side. Crack this loose. All right. Is it recording? It's recording. Ready? Ah, it's not even that bad. Nice. All right, well, I don't understand why Kubota says to drain all the oil out when you change the filter, but I'm not gonna do that. All right, let's make sure that we have enough hydrostat fluid. That is in the back here on a sight glass. We'll drop the rotor tiller down a little bit, and your level is a sight glass right there. Sight glass is right there to the left of that bolt sticking out. And you can see the oil is right just at the bottom there. We'll top it up a hair. Tricky part is it's hard to tell if it is overfull or completely empty. They both look exactly the same. So you have a small little window of how much oil to put in there, and that oil fill is right there. So this is what the Kubota dealership sent me. Premium UDT in that transmission, and then just Kubota 1540 in the engine. That's pretty particular about his stuff, so we go OEM. That being said, all these filters, fuel, two hydraulic transmission, oil, one transmission oil, one engine oil filter. It was 200 and some odd bucks. Ouch. Canadian. Just draining the engine oil. And it goes much quicker if you remove the fill cap. There it goes. Look at that. Please stop. Please stop. Oh, one filter's under oil. Come on. I don't want to get another jug. Another oil filter about to be swallowed up. Oh, I get in the center. Oh. Oh, just did it. We got her. We got her, boys. When replacing the plugs, make sure that you catch the washers on both of them. You put the washers back on again, torque them tight, and then fill them not with that, but with this 1540. And you pay so much for this oil because of this. Look at this, it's pretty fancy. Look at that, it's like a spout. Open that up. Give a little yank. Perfect. Fill her up. Need a funnel? No funnel needed. Look at that. Nice pour. Oh, she splooched. Oh, funnel it is. That was me. I was squeezing the bottle. I get impatient. As a one, you get the point. Fill it up till it's on the dipstick. Start it, run it through the oil filter, and then check your dipstick again. This is the air filter. Take it out, clean it. Fuel filter is right there. Turn the valve off to the side, turn your fuel off, crack it loose, almost tighten it up all the way, open it up again, fill your fuel bowl up, tighten it up, and I believe that this is a primer or a bleeder. I don't know. Let's fill it up, see if it starts. Here we go. That did the trick. That's it for the filters. We'll grease it, we'll wash it, make sure that that doesn't leak. I think that's just leftover spillage leaking. Yeah, we're good. Okay, loader grease fittings have it at every single pivot point. So find the grease fitting and grease them. You want to do that in between your 200 and 400 hour services. If you hear any squeaking whatsoever as you're using it, stop and grease it. And it helps if you grease it when it's hot. The front pivot has a grease fitting along with the back pivot. Front grease fitting is on the other side of that. And then the top of your kingpin has grease fittings as well. Then just your 3-point hitch, put a little bit of grease on your top link, grease your bottom link, and then U-joints obviously for your rotor tiller if need be. And that is about it for service. We'll wash it off in the morning, and that is ready to go back out and dig. I know you're thinking I forgot the lift cylinders, but I did them while they were in the air. Thanks for paying attention. Okay, the rest of these linkages, just take some penetrating fluid, stick it in there. Let that sit overnight and pressure wash it off in the morning. Kitty, time for me to go to bed. It's like 11 o'clock, 11:30. Wash off in the morning. Here we go. Alright, so usually we make videos on everything wrong with it, and it's not to pick on it and say that it's a pile of garbage. We just point out the few little flaws that might cost you money. But honestly, this tractor is about as good as it gets. If there were any complaints, it would be that the switches, like the 4-wheel drive and the high, medium, low, are kind of stiff to get in and out of. It's very clunky. Some nicer, newer tractors, more expensive, just have toggle switches and it's done electronic. But this is a manual in and out, and the nice thing of that is you know what's in, absolutely, and it is a lot less problem. So if you're thinking about a tractor for your lot, super handy. This, I don't have one bad thing to say about this tractor. Go out, buy it. It will serve you very, very well. They hold their resale very well, and it is a good tractor. Okay, that's it for our little Kubota for now. Service is done. One thing I forgot last night is to check the front axle. And other tractors, whether it be orange, red, green, the services would generally be the same. Only difference is that front hub. Some of them have a separate oil reservoir for the final drive. This one does not. So the oil in the front axle flows down into the hub, and that's it. If you have oil that's separate, got to keep a close eye on that, especially if you pressure wash it a lot, because if your axle leaks, you might not notice because you're constantly washing the tractor. So 200 hours, this tractor's almost new. This oil level is fine and turned out okay. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. We'll be making more of this as equipment comes in, but now it's time to get out there and use the tractor and get it all dirty again. Get out there, you don't have to take it to a dealer to do this. It's pretty simple maintenance and it's enjoyable at the same time, so you can take some pride in your equipment and figure out how it works. Like, subscribe, and get out there. Now that it's all serviced, do something with it. Here we go.